Hey, what's up? It's your boy Bobby Sapphire. It is Sunday morning. It's early. Maddie's drinking coffee. And we're here with the KTOD radio podcast. We got a lot to talk about today. It's been a couple weeks. Last time we did this, Justin, we called out that there were no sector and regional dates, and now we have them.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm looking at we're talking about planning our calendars, seeing if as many as we can get to. I'm super excited. We'll talk about it, but I'm super excited for the limited one in Philly. Just a lot of like big events on the horizon. I'm trying to convince you to go to Munich. We got some fun things on the that we're working out.
I would really love to go to Munich. I just don't know if I can get there this season. Maddie, you're still rocking that Adidas hat. Do you not love the melon hat as much as we love these melon hats?
I like them. They look a little weird on me.
Oh, you like a flatter hat.
Yeah, like I like the
You do
melon
like
hat.
all flat things, Maddie.
I was
I'm not gonna touch
Today
that one.
is-
This is like my favorite hat. I bought a few of these. I just had to let one go. It's like like when someone buys like Larry David buys like the extra shirt. It's like I have a bunch of these hats. Maybe I'll try to get KTOD on this, but I do like the other ones.
There's so many things that I have like six of: sneakers, slippers, shirts. And Steve, you got so much heat last podcast for not loving the game. How are you feel? How are you feeling about the community backlash?
I know I got ran out too, man. It wasn't just Steve.
know.
I've been canceled.
I know, but I
think
defended you because you said that like you actually liked it, but there was no defending
You just
Steve.
don't ever defend me. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to a lot of members of our community, and after a lot of chit chat, I've now come around, and SWU is my favorite game of all time.
Love
Can't
to
wait
hear
to
it.
play this season.
Love to hear it. And it's finally hoodie weather. I know you wear a hoodie every week, but every week I'm like ripping my shirt off the second we stop recording because it's so hot. But I've got my first hoodie on of fall
Nice.
2025. It's fall, baby.
Yeah, black looks great.
The black does look
I
good.
love
I'm gonna
this
have to
hoodie.
get one of those.
I still have
got
the
mine.
baby blue one in the bag too. I haven't opened that yet, so I'm hyped.
Yeah, I'm trying not to wear the baby blue one too much.
Mostly because I just don't want to have to get another one. Like, when they get worn out.
Yeah.
'Cause that one's just fire. That one and the Sabine are just insane.
Well, I'm wearing the baby blue one to Portland. That's when I'm unveiling it.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of that, but I know I spill, so I can't have the
Yeah,
baby
that's
blue.
why I didn't
I
get
can't
the-
believe I have the Sabine.
That's why I didn't get
I
that
barely wear that thing. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to send it to you, but you didn't really give me a choice.
I'd have coffee on that thing by the end of the morning.
Yeah, I wear the Sabine sparingly.
We're getting Italian tonight. Maddie's just covered in sauce and honestly.
Our show is sponsored by Metal Fab. Great tokens, great dice. He helped me make my insane force token, which I'll have in Portland and Philadelphia and Munich if I go.
It's heavy. You can hear the clank there.
Yep, you can really feel it, the dent that just put in my desk. And if you play against me in any of the sectors this season, I'll give you one. VIPs. These are our most valued supporters: Achilles, B-Flow, M, Imrahil, Zefke, Mitch, True ATP, A True Prophecy, Travis, Rick, Psycho Hazard, Sam, Chris, Edgy Sith Lord, Balls, Dan Tartaglione, and Ty Fabes. I love
Balls,
just
baby.
Balls with a Z. It's so old school.
Balls, crazy.
But
The
love
Z-
these
the
guys.
Z
This
kills
is
it.
like my favorite channel in the Discord to just like go hang out in, like see what people are talking about, and just chill. It's just such a chill vibe.
Dude, and then like crazy things happen, like Achilles and
Yeah,
Bloody Nine realized they freaking live right next to each other.
Yeah,
Chris G. So like they met up and went to like a brewery and like were posting about it. So like it is such a cool like group. And we really appreciate your guys' support. If you're in the community and you have an interest in this level, DM me. This is a really special level to us that we just want to make sure everyone's kind of on the same page about. So because at community meetups, like they become this like ball of fun that people glub onto, and I try to make special time when I can.
Ball of fun. I see what you did there.
balls.
Balls of fun, yeah. We got big balls. We got the biggest
Nice.
balls of them all.
All right, and if you do want one of these spectacular hoodies, you can check out our shop at Fourth Wall, and then we still have a few KTOD Masterpiece boxes kicking around. If you're interested in that, but yeah,
I
the
wore
Fourth Wall gear is
I
insane.
wore so much KTOD gear the last 2 weeks I was teaching a class. And these kids were like, "What's KTOD? What is this? What is?" I was just thinking, I just had it on as I was professing. It was fun. It was good
Yeah,
times.
that
Did
is
you
cool.
respond to them?
A professor.
You can wear this gear in professional settings. Like it looks clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
it
doubt.
does. It's yeah, I love the look. I think between the layout and like the making sure like we made sure the quality's the best we can. Like I love these hoodies. I'm like trying not to buy too many, but
Yeah.
I want more already.
Fourth
Yeah,
Wall
you're
paint
cut
on.
off
They,
for
they
2025.
did us good.
Steve has a comment here.
All right.
Don't look at the credit card statement. We're good.
So,
Every
as
morning.
mentioned last week, we wanted the sector regional dates. Now we have them. So this is the wildest part about it. I think. I mean, there are a lot of wild things, but this isn't. They didn't have a dedicated stream to this. This was announced at the start of their Twin Suns stream last week. So if you want to watch the first maybe 10 minutes of that stream, they talk about this. It's the only place actually you can find out that the Philadelphia sector is actually a sealed and draft sector. It's not posted anywhere else. But so the season is it's a very short season. It's October 4th and 5th in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, October 11th and 12th. I think most of us will be there. And then Munich, November 1st and 2nd. Justin will be there.
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to Munich. And then one thing, we're all going to Philly, but if we weren't, we'd be in Spain. That's not on the screen.
Yeah, that's the regional one I got on another
Oh,
slide.
you got regionals. No, this is super exciting to have these. I think it's really important that games have, and really anything, like even just as you're planning your life of like psychological, like how to sort of feel calm and happy, is have things to look forward to. And it's like we know we're all going to be in Philly. We know that the weeks leading up to that, we can practice limited for Philly if you like that. If you like constructed and you're going to Portland, you have Portland. Like Maddie knows he can hug his dog in the morning. We need like positive things to have. And it's cool that you have these because even if we don't end up going to Munich, the idea of going to Munich is there. Like it's so important that we have these large events. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see like this is condensed. Then we got like the next set coming out with pre-releases and the holidays. But we know we're gonna have another wave of this, probably January, February, and be like, wonder what those dates are, wonder what those places are. Like that is the best way to keep a game going. There could be people who never go to sector and regionals, but they get to sort of envision that they're going, right? Or dream that they're going. Maybe there'll be one in my hometown. Like that energy is great. I know we were thinking that maybe there would be one in the Northeast. Philly's pretty close though. When we saw Philly, we were like, we can drive, we can do this. Like it's so sick that we've got these big events, and especially like just like knowing like in Denver, Steve top eighting, and like that was such a cool thing. In Minnesota, four of the eight, which is like so insane for a team to do. And then Ophir winning is like so cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
we
just
had
have that.
3 good events in the first season or zero season. It was great.
I'm hyped. My hype level is way more than a 4 out of 10. I'm ready to roll.
This is why Swoo is the greatest game of all time.
Now, Steve, you're getting married in the middle of the season, like literally right in the middle of it. Are you going to be
Yeah,
able to
it's
sneak
like-
away to any of these, you think? You coming to Portland with me?
Not going to Portland. I went a couple weeks ago and that was a miserable flight. Good luck. Have fun. There's an outside chance I go to Philly.
Yes.
I actually really wanted to go to Munich. That's actually a really easy place to fly into out of Boston too. I've done a few layovers there, and it's a great airport. But that's gonna be my honeymoon that week. So realistically, yeah, maybe Philly. It's gonna be a last minute decision if so. But yeah, I know it's like kind of nice to have a little break. It felt like the difference between Denver and Worlds was like a pretty big grind, and then like prior to Denver, I wasn't really playing that much. I guess top eighting will do that to you, but it'll be nice to like sit back and like watch the streams from home, watch everybody else do well, and kind of just like not have to really worry about traveling for couple months.
Yeah, the streams are actually popping off this weekend. Like 4 or 5 PQs were streamed. There's this big Open in Europe that was streamed, um, and the quality
Yeah,
of
that's,
the community streams are really good.
yeah,
Yeah,
and to touch upon Justin's point about like having these big events, even if creating excitement for people, even if they're not going, like they can always like get excited about streaming. They can still like
Yep.
participate and watch and feel like they're part of being there, which you don't necessarily get with necessarily all the time with some of the smaller events like PQs.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
at
we're
work yesterday and I just had the streams on all day. It was sick.
we're very lucky. We have like these, community members who went above and beyond to like bring the game to us, because the only FFG stream we get is Worlds, if it's not
Right.
like Twin Suns.
Yeah, that might
Um,
change for season 1, season 2. I mean, they got the momentum of being the greatest game of all time, so maybe they're just gonna stick with it.
Could. I'm trying to get information on streaming these events. I know that McClunky wants to stream Philly, that C Raptor wants to stream Portland. Those are both local, like pretty local to those
Right.
guys, like within a couple hours. I'm sure Fanfinity or OPE, whoever's running Germany, I can't remember which one. All the European big events are streamed with pretty high quality. And then the Nordic Takedown streams, and I don't know. There's a bunch of teams that stream. You'll
Now, if we go to Munich, here's my question here, right?
Yeah.
We both have young kids, Mike. We can do Halloween. Can we figure out a way to do this in like 14 hours? We did London in 30 hours. Can we do Munich in like an insane amount of time? Like
That's-
literally
You can
banned for round one.
That's my
Take a
specialty.
red eye on the 31st. Gets
Yeah,
in
like
the morning.
tuck the kids in with their candy, leave them with the wives, and be like, "We out."
We're leaving at midnight, and is it a free flight back time wise? No, it's the opposite. Oh yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want, before we skip slides, I just wanted to say like two things if I didn't miss them. Like, there's a lot of hype. Back-to-back weekends across the way is tough when there's only 2 sectors, right? 2 continental sectors. Like, probably looking for those to be spaced out a little more if we're only ever going to get 2, especially when they're different formats. Because like, for all of us who can only make Philly, or those who can only make Portland, you're missing out on the whole other format, right? And that's kind of a bit of a bummer. So like when looking for the winter stuff, like would look for some separation, would look for some earlier messaging on when these are happening.
Yeah.
Hopefully a dedicated stream and not the front of a Twin Suns. Like, look, like I know there's a lot of hard people working on there, and I'm usually like, a little more extra positive than normal. But those are things that probably need to be addressed if we want to be like in the conversation for, like a game that people are going to spend a lot of time on and have some staying power, because, losing out on those moments, like, the central, like, this game is probably going to do its best if there's, a casual contingency. But the people who are going to go to regions and sectionals and fly to them and be on the streams and stuff like that is something to pay a little bit of attention to. And making them back-to-back so you can't go to both is a bit of a bummer.
To add on to that,
Please stop being so negative.
to add on to that, I agree 100%, Maddie. Like, I think it is just about the condensing of the dates, though. Like, if they were spread out, because to the comment about like different formats, if they were the same format, say they were both constructed, like, would you really go to both? You know what I mean? Like, you might like go to I'll do one. Like that would
Right, exactly.
I actually think them being different formats incentivizes to maybe go to both, but then it's still hard because you're like, for me, I'm like, I'm flying here, and then like you think about that work week, where you're like, or your week at school, right? Like it is, one of them is a holiday weekend, but it's the second one, so you're kind of like, oh boy, I'm back. Maybe I have to take a Monday off, and then I'm back on the flight, or you're away from home for a couple weekends in a row. It's tough. So I think like, and then you do look at, it ends in Munich. Like imagine if Philly was just, instead of being this weekend, was like Veterans Day. And I know they have like a new format, but like how cool would that be? Imagine drafting the new cards. Like that would have been insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. My theory is they had a condensed timeline post Worlds, and I think we're going to see a little better messaging and spaced out, and hopefully notice so we have time to plan for the winter season. It seemed like this was like, oh shit, we got to get these out. We like took 2-3 weeks off to do Worlds and then take
There
a
are
vacation.
people who would have gone to all the sectors and the regional too. So Spain and Philly being the same weekend is another kind of like.
Yeah.
Is this intentional, or is this just something that you're not able? Are you constricted by like convention time? But then that means you probably should have planned earlier. Oh yeah. Like some people would have went to all four, so they just need to plan ahead of time.
Yeah, and then because people would have gone to potentially Philly and Bilbao separately, or maybe people like on the East Coast who it's really difficult to fly west and get back in just a weekend, can't go to Portland. For a lot of people, this format is over. Like it's
Right.
it's August and they're not going to play any meaningful constructed SWU like outside of a PQ, but like they basically have to skip the entire like major event season, which I think like
That's
both
me.
what you guys mentioned, like the
Right.
proximity of Portland and Philadelphia, and then the overlap of Philadelphia and Spain, makes it like really tough. And
Also,
then
like last thing here is like the new set comes out when?
November 8th.
November
That was my
7th.
next point. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
No, no. Well, I don't know what you're going to say about it, but
I'm just saying, like, you don't have an opportunity to kind of like get into a sector with new cards or like explore a new format at a sector or a regional. Like that would be cool.
yeah, sort of the way Worlds was, like mostly a
Yeah,
new set.
exactly. Like, so it just feels weird to. I mean, I know you got like Thanksgiving and stuff
Isn't
like
that what the next
beforehand.
season's going to be?
Well, what if they don't?
We
What
just
if they
don't
do the
know.
same thing and they have all the events at like the last week, 2-3 weeks of the season, and then we're not. Then there's nothing in November, nothing in December, nothing in January, and then they're all in February because the following set comes out in March. So like, are they going to spread these out through December, January, and February, or are we just going to be like, oh, it's February. Here are all the major events in 3 weeks before the next set comes out, and then what are we going to do for those 3 months in between?
Yeah.
That would be textbook how to kill momentum because like everyone was pretty hyped. Worlds was insane. I get it. They, like when you have a big project and you have a big lead up, like you take some time off. Somebody probably needed to still man the
the
one
fort.
person manning the ship to get the info out to keep the
Me.
momentum going. But like, yeah, if we have the same, like this is candidly, this is a bit of a letdown in some of it. Like I'm sure people have complained a bunch. It's still a lot of good, but there is a little bit of a letdown in the scheduling and the messaging around this. If it happens again in the winter, it's like,
Yeah.
here we go again.
Let's just
We gave you that leeway, but I'm gonna remain hopeful that we're gonna get a very sweet layout for winter that's gonna address these, and that maybe this was a little bit of a crunch time situation.
All right, and then the prizes are more the same art as the previous cards, like the Mandalorian, the Emperor here. They did an Obi-Wan, a Rey, a Kylo. So they're keeping that framing the same, but they are going to have some alt art cards in silver packs. So we'll have some like sector silver packs. I think this is what, like the fourth treatment of Anakin. Steve, was there a Worlds Anakin in those silver or black packs?
Shit.
Black packs, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the black, there was an Anakin.
So we have
I
like,
didn't see him. But I remember
Prestige.
someone saying that's like the chase card other than the Falcon.
But
Yeah. So we have Prestige Anakin, we have this Anakin, we have Black Pack Anakin. I don't know. I love that they're doing legendaries and good legendaries, but it just feels like they've already pushed a bunch of good legendaries and they've already pushed Anakin. Like maybe mix it up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a lot of duplicates of cards. So that happens. You start seeing that happening with like once you go down the rabbit hole of like all image cards, and then you want to do a prize card, and then you're like, which one? I mean, Anakin probably is the best card, in set 5.
Yeah, and he's
Uh,
neutral, so you want a
Card,
bunch.
like,
You can play them in dude. Just
Yeah.
think about like League of Legends, like how many Ari skins. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just all right. I mean, I agree. I would have liked. I'm just glad they have good. Like it's not
Yeah,
like
good
Dr.
play.
Evazan or something, but like, so I'm gonna. But yeah,
And then we talked about it a little bit, but the regionals in Bilbao, Spain, October 10th to 12th. That's the same weekend as Philadelphia, but there's now regional championships are actually 2 regionals. There's a sealed on Friday and constructed on Saturday.
That's wild.
So if you do get to go to Bilbao, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. You're getting to play in potentially 2 tournaments. If you don't do well in the sealed, you have another fallback event in constructed. And then if you really only want to play in one, you get to just play the one that you prefer. You want to get home
Right.
early, do the limited. And if you don't make day 2, or, even if you win it all, you'll get to fly home early Sunday.
You get to play. You got to control your own adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm bummed that we can't go because Philly is so convenient for us, and it's like and I love limited anyway, and Philly's limited. If Philly was constructed, I would strongly consider this one to just play limited, um, and not do Philly, and then still have like as you said, Mike, still have the opportunity to play constructed if you didn't do well. But
Yeah.
I wonder what the idea behind having the 2 in the same day is. Is it because it kind of speaks to like them saying, "Hey, no one's going to do all 4. No one's going to fly to everything," and there are people out there who would go to everything. Alex claims he's quit, but I think he would be at all 4.
I
To be
mean,
honest,
he's the only one of us who's going to Spain.
yeah, he's
I
going
think.
this anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like because he doesn't play limited as much. He doesn't love it as much as I think we do. But yeah, just like I just don't understand why you didn't have one like a week like in November too. Like just have it a little bit more spaced out. Like what would actually be the downside of having one November 8th or whatever? Like I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't want it to be with the next set. They wanted to make sure they delivered on their promise of 3 sectors in a regional on each set. I'm not really sure, but I mean, there's nothing like limiting beliefs, right? Like setting arbitrary rules for yourself just to do it.
Right.
It's just, who knows? I can't really. The speculation's tough, but you just wish it was. You wish you looked at this stuff and you were like, oh yeah, this is perfectly thought out, and not what were they thinking.
Right. But still, it'll be cool to see everybody in sectors and regionals. It'll be cool to fly to events, get in that nice stage, see the venue, see the cool streams that communities are building out, for constructed events, being like, what are the teams playing, and all that stuff will be in the mix. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good problem that
Easy.
it's like, man, I wish I could go to more. It's
For
just
sure.
like, let's see that change over the winter. I believe. I have a lot of faith for the next one. I think they're gonna
tried
knock
to
it
make the
apart.
Bilbao flight work, but I just have so little time with the teacher schedule that I couldn't do it.
But let me ask you a question though. If Philly wasn't that weekend, would you have made it happen?
Well, probably not still, but if it was that same weekend, because it's a 3-day weekend, which like actually benefits me, but then like I'm not allowed to take the Friday off before a 3-day weekend, so it's just like it's hard to get to Spain in the middle of the school year.
That's like that weird teacher 3-day weekend thing that like is very specific to you and other
Right?
teachers.
No, for sure, it's a me problem.
But like I think that if it wasn't Philly, and let's say you didn't have, let's say like one of the barriers was gone, you'd be way more incentivized to try to make that trip work.
Yeah, especially if I could fly direct, which I
I'm sure at
couldn't
some
find.
point you were like, I'm working really hard to figure out to get to Bilboa, but like I can just do a 5-hour drive to Philly, and like this is a little ridiculous. Like you know what I mean? Like that. I think that's sort of where it lies, and
No
I think
doubt.
that is a problem because that's one less seat that they're filling because you would have went to both.
Right. They would have had my money both ways, yeah. If it was in like Portugal or like Barcelona, somewhere that like Boston flew directly into, then it would have been a real option. But having to take multiple planes and get there Friday morning made it next to impossible. Like I was looking at flights landing at 7 a.m. in Bilbao from Barcelona.
And not to
Saturday morning.
not to beat
Friday
a
morning.
dead horse about like learning, and for us, I think we're excited that World's in Vegas for next year, and I think the year after too. We had a great time, and it was cool. And I get that there's a lot of reasons to do that, so it's not I don't necessarily think that's like a bad decision. But like a lot of the Europeans were saying like this is going to be really hard. And there's a lot of Europeans who play this game where like this is going to be really hard to pull this off every year because it's just an additional, 5 hours of air time that they're in the skies. You're literally traveling just so far. It's like an 11-hour, and if you have to land in New York and get it, all this different stuff.
Yeah.
And God forbid you're in like a town that's not close to a airport in Europe, right? You're like 2 hours of Europe travel before you can even get on the flight. So That it does feel like they just maybe need to have a strategic plan and the energy behind it. But I'm sure they have something.
Yeah. Um, and this is I want to shout out these prizes because this is the first alt treatment of Luke that we're getting. The set one Luke,
Yeah.
which is cool, and it's a new legendary invader too, who's a very strong legendary and had
Popping up more too.
yeah, popping up more, and didn't have it doesn't have an alternate version, right? Because that set was all ships for prestigious.
Chippies, yeah.
So it's a cool legendary that we had. These are two cool legendaries that we haven't had any alt treatments for, and I think they'll be pretty sought after, especially from Americans who aren't going to make it over to Spain.
One thing that I know there's a lot of speculation on this, but even the Luke on this slide does not have the A rotation. I don't know if they've addressed it. A lot of people seem to believe that there is going to be these cards that don't rotate. I hope that Luke is one of those because he's such a staple of the game, and I don't think he's like a card that we would necessarily get sick of. But even the new treatment of this card does not have the A.
Yeah, I don't know
which, like,
if we look at other cards from set one, did they add the A? Like when they made the Vaders, do the World's Vaders have the A or do the World's Vaders not have the A?
I don't think they have the A, but I to that point, maybe they're just taking the exact, card and not adding. But like, if there was a plan to rotate these, wouldn't they
That'd be crazy.
start planning for that? You know what I mean? Because now they know
Probably
what the
just
rotation
forgot
is.
about it for the alternate art stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could just be like we're going down a rabbit hole. It doesn't need to exist. But I know there's been chatter about it, and there's definitely been a few, like I've seen in a few places and had people message me like, do you think Luke, is staying because he had this alternate treatment and he's, going to rotate out, or, I haven't seen the A, stuff like that. So I am curious on how they're going to treat set one.
Very good observation.
Yeah,
The Vader was a judge promo, Mike, because I know
I
I'd seen.
I just saw that looking up these other ones, and I was like, I'm sure someone's already commented and yelling at me.
The chat is going to be bumping, saying,
Sorry, judges. I don't track the judge promos, but they are fire.
Yeah, the judge promos are sick.
All right. So
But
I
yeah, something to think
accidentally
about.
put this in the wrong spot earlier, but I want to check out these new cards that were released. These are the new prestige cards for the next set, Secrets of the Force. They're going ham on like crazy art. People really complained about the prestige art in the last set. It was just like a nebulous purple background. But these cards remind me of like the Magic alt treatments. Like this.
I was just about to say that they don't look like cards. I have a Magic promo from some event that I qualified for, and I'm like, they handed out the promos. I'm like, oh, this is like a flyer, and they're like, no, that's a card. You turn it over, and it's got the Magic back on the other side. I'm like, this is a card. Like, where are the stats? This does have the stats, but like, there's some stuff that like the deploy cost is like upside down. It's like it's written in like Elvis or something. These are really cool.
Yeah, these are cool. I think the Partagas one is like part of a line where it's all propaganda art, which is
That's
cool. And I love I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's like blood splatter down here, like in front of the white. It looks insane. And then the CAD is part of the Renegade line, and it's meant to look like a wanted poster, like a bounty puck hologram. And I guess the foiling in these is going to be crazy. The only thing I hate about this is like this symbol up here is like the aggression symbol, kinda. It's a little confusing, but everything else I think looks fire.
That's a red card.
No, this is a blue card, but it has that like, diamond that looks like the aggression symbol. Is the only thing that's a little wonky because these are obviously not color coded to villain blue.
Right. I think this is exactly what you like would have expected the first prestige to like go swing for the fences. So I'm really happy to see this. I think these are I think these are now more chase than the other ones. Like,
yeah, I did not like the last ones. I really didn't like the Jedi ones from set 5. I had like not much interest in those. These look insane. I'm happy that like the Cad Bane is a blue card though. because like that box set cards, it was like my brain got twisted in all types of ways because it was like, oh, the 3PO is actually red because like the color on the card was different than the
Right.
aspect. Like at
Yeah.
least this is blue. Like the symbol actually being there is fine. Like as long as the color matches the color of the.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're all blue. There'll be other ones. We'll have to see if they color code them to the other sort of
But like
colors.
the one on the left, I don't know how to say that. Is it Partagaz?
Yeah.
Like the command icon, it like stands out. Like I'm not
Yeah.
accidentally thinking the card is an aggression
Because
card.
yeah.
I
Right.
see the green, and then the Cad Bane it doesn't, but it's blue. Like, and if like the Cad Bane was, let's say the Cad Bane was a aggression, and the symbol under the 5 was red, that would still be fine. Like that would look good. I just need something to tell me, like tell my
Yeah,
old
well, I'm
brain.
worried that the other Renegade cards will not be like it'll be a green card, but it still looks like this bluish hue. That's what I'm worried about. But
Yeah.
I agree,
Right,
it's a
that-
little confusing.
It probably will be because isn't that the look they're going for? The hologram, like the hologram puck was that color.
Yeah, I mean, I like they probably will. I don't know if they showed another one. They might have showed the chopper. I'm not sure. I think maybe they did show the chopper, but yeah, it's just going to be one of those things that they're not necessarily concerned with the aspect symbol popping, but it's something that I don't know. I've we've kind of hiccuped on a couple times.
It's pretty insane looking though.
No, they look
Yeah,
sick.
I'm very happy about these. These are clearly going to be the best of the best.
We buying some carbonite this up, boys?
Maybe I can do that.
If we get offline,
I'll do some breaks. I mean, I'm sure
Let's
people
do
will
it.
want in on these.
I
make
love
the room. Make the room.
Like when we had some crazy ones too. Like we had some crazy serialized in the Steve like pick one pack one had one. Mike you had a box early on that was absolutely wild. I forget the exact context.
Yeah, I
The
just
breaks
opened
were
up-
fun.
I didn't feel like playing one Monday night for my Monday night stream, so I was like, you know what, screw it, let's just do a free break with a carbonite box, and like the first pack had a prestige, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
It was so because like there was a guy that day who was like, I had the worst day. He like posted the thing. He's like, I've just had the worst day at work, and we were like, you good, man? He's like, yeah, no, it was just like one of those days. And then it was like he had bought like the share, I don't know what you call it. And he got it right away, and everyone in the chat,
Serialized,
everyone was like, yeah, let's go. And he's like, this day got a lot better. That was really.
I got 2 more.
and I bought them all individually, so they weren't part of the same case, so there could be more prestigious.
Could be more, baby.
yeah. Ooh, that's spicy.
Prestige worldwide.
Yeah, Carbo. Hype. All right, we did that one. All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about limited events being good or bad for the health of Star Wars Unlimited. I thought that they were going to be overwhelmingly positively received, but there have been probably a very vocal minority online, but also just some people I talked to in our Discord that say like they're not going to Philly because it's limited. They have no interest in playing limited, learning limited. I know that the sector for Philly is going to be capped at 512, so it's a much smaller cap than the previous sectors. So like we've had 2 limited PQs so far, and there's 8 more to come. But one capped at 128, which is pretty crazy, and then one I don't know if it was capped at 72, but it only got 72. Do you guys think that Philly's going to sell out? Do you think overall Limited is going to be better for the health of Star Wars Unlimited overall? Or do you think like the tournaments, like regionals having 2 formats, like is that going to like kill the attendance instead of boost the
The
attendance?
2 format thing could be that's weird because we haven't seen that at much. I think in general, limited sometimes is played less by like the sort of more casual players because they want to play their deck at like the big time show. But I think it's really good that this exists in the game. I think it'll be like a growing community because you're going to have people that go and maybe try it out, right? So like, okay, there's some people who are like maybe stuck in their ways and aren't going to go. Okay, and there's people that love limited. I think like all 4 of us really love limited. But then there's some people who maybe don't like it, but they're like, it's Philly, it's a sector, I want to go. And they're going to have a great time. They're going to understand like the beauty of limited. And like, we've seen it in pre-releases are super fun. And this is now you get the competitive side of this. So I think it's good that they have it. I do think like I don't think this will be a thing where like their sort of casual play takes off as much with limited just for whatever reason. I think it would be great if it did. I think it allows you to play other leaders, which is really cool because they make so many leaders per set, and then a lot of them you never see the light of day just because they're not as good as like the predetermined leaders, right? Like if you got a yellow force leader, it's not going to be as good as Quinlan or so on and so forth. So I think it's like good to see different expansions. It broadens the game in ways that like that like Constructed could never do. Constructed's always going to be a thing or Premier, whatever they call it. But limited allows people to play differently. You're going to have that feeling at the airport, like where are my decks when you go through security because you're not going to be here with you. Hopefully FFG doesn't mess it up and has round tables for Sunday. That's one fear that I have of like we're all drafting on these rectangular tables. Bring out the round tables and make it look special.
Yeah, I think limited's great for the game. I mean, obviously, like, and we've touched on it. Like, if you're limited on the amount of events you can go to, it is a bummer when like the only one you can go to limited and you really Premier format. But other than that, like when the game first came out, like I remember saving packs to draft with, and then like draft wasn't a thing, so we just like cracked them. Like I got a bunch of packs from my PQ. It's like I actually have a use for these, which is really exciting. And I think traditionally like limited formats have done well in other games for like GPs and stuff. From my recollection, they've been pretty successful. I mean, for some people it evens levels the playing field in some ways. Like you can always get the bum pool, like that's can happen, but I think like you get to play like SWU at its fundamental and play with like if they're gonna make like you said, Justin, if they're gonna make freaking 18 leaders a set and you never play with 90% of those leaders, like what's the point?
Yeah.
So
think about it.
Because think about if we didn't have limited, we'd be playing the same format that we played at Worlds. And those games, like, yeah, there's going to be like evolution throughout a meta and stuff like that. But like, SWU does have a feeling of like the same things kind of are happening in games, right? Like you're attacking base, you're sort of, we're not going to see the Han 5 flip turn versus the Quinlan flip turn. And like, those, we've all played that game so many times. Like, have you played against Snoke Blue as we see on the screen and like what that look those interactions and Mother Talzin Green was a deck knocked him out of day two, but like that's probably a different deck, you know what I mean? Like so I don't know, it just feels like you get these cool storylines. You get to have like a whale wearing a lightsaber or something. You know what I mean? Like these things that you just don't see in other games. Like, there's these really fun stories. I think people need to try it before they like say I'm not playing it. Also, like, not for nothing, the designers did a good job with limited in this game. Like the three leader thing in draft, being able to like link your colors to your leader and like how that looks when you open a sealed pool. Like it's not a game that you have to force like oh, like limited doesn't work because there's games that limited doesn't work with, right? Lord of the Rings limited, could never do.
Right.
Star Wars CCG limited, I mean, we played it a little bit with like sealed, but that was rough with those OT. There's a reason why that never took off. But this game, like limited, you'll have real decks. Like you'll be the way the rules are of like curving and stuff like that. Like, and here's another last thing is I'm obviously excited for limited. Like I played a pre-release and I won all my games with the finalizer. So these like giant legendary cards that you never get to play.
the coasters.
You can play some of these like depending on the speed of the format. You can actually play some of these cards.
Yeah, that type. Steve, any thoughts on limited?
Star Wars Unlimited is the greatest game of all time.
The Marshawn Lynch.
Decision.
Love it.
I just want to close with like some of my favorite memories at tournaments are, and I've probably said this a million times, are like the team drafting with my buddies. You know what I mean? Like you get eliminated and you queue up 3v3s and you do team drafts. Like that has felt a bit missing from this game. Like, there's just not been a reason to draft. So like for the sole purpose of bringing
the draft aspect.
I think I have friends, I hope. So I guess the draft aspect, I don't know. But yeah, I think like Only good. Just a few implementation things as always, like making sure we can hit one of each would be ideal. For those who are like a little on the edge about going to something for limited, like you're not going to regret going to a sectors and seeing all your friends. You're not going to regret playing Star Wars Unlimited if you already like it. I love this. I actually really like this premiere format. It's been going on for quite some time since we had the early drop. I am okay missing a sector this time, but like go to Philly, have a great time, play like small ball, like play freaking SWU at its fundamentals. That's what limited is. Like it'll make you a better player, and it's fun, and you get to put a lightsaber on a freaking whale or a Minoc, and you're gonna make, like Justin said, these crazy memories. You're gonna use cards that you can't use in Premiere that steal you games, and you get to talk about it. Like limited rules.
Yeah, you get to eat at Reading Terminal Market.
Yep.
That's another good thing about Philly. The like Mike, if you scrub in Portland, which you won't, you're going to win the tournament. But if you scrub in Portland and it's Sunday and your flight's at 8 o'clock or whatever, right? Like hop in a side draft with your friends, do like the side events and grind the prize wall while practicing for the next weekend of limited. Like that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that actually does sound amazing. I traditionally don't do side events, but if there's limited side events on Sunday and I'm not in, I would definitely do some limited
Or
side events.
let's say you are in and someone says, "Do you want a team draft? You know, my boys versus your boys," and you go and you go old school. You put some 20s up. We're all older now. You put some hundreds up for team drafts and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, living. That's like PQ dreams. Like,
yeah, Northeast use. You know what I mean? Like I got two guys. You got yours. Let's do it.
You've told this story probably on the pod, but like I was in the finals of a PTQ for Magic, or PTQ, and you guys were all team drafting, and Jim Nance was watching you guys team draft while I was playing the finals of my PTQ.
My God, that was the craziest thing. He definitely had like look at these loser nerds energy. Like when he walked by, he looked down with such disdain. As he was, going out to dinner before like Pat's Ravens in like 2000.
He's got a Liliana, Jim.
I said that. I said that to Jason. I was like, man, we should have asked him to be like, can you just like say like one line of like, he looks like he's got the Storm Breath Dragon. Like
the Thoughtseize is going to change the vector of this game. I don't know how Jim did. I just make fun of Tony Romo, so I can't even think about how Jim Nance talks. But
here we go, Jim.
He's gonna +2 his Liliana, Jim. All right, so not something I thought we would ever talk about on a competitive podcast, but the FFG's putting out like a learn to play like box set with like really generic cards. It's got a cool mat. I don't know if that mat is like cardboard or paper or whatever. Most of these cards are not going to be playable. It's just like I'll buy this for my gaming club, right? Like I'll put this in my classroom, and like kids who come to gaming club can learn to play Star Wars Unlimited. This would be great for that. Mm-hmm. But these cards are legal at the Portland sector, and I've highlighted a couple which I think are like borderline playable. And I didn't know how you guys feel about like a supplemental set coming midway through a season. And I just want to give one, before I let you guys kind of cook on this. Destiny did this, the FFG Star Wars card game from before. Destiny did this, and it was because so many of the competitive players were playtesters. They were like, we didn't playtest this. They pushed this out. It was like for Target and Walmart box sets, and the cards ended up being like broken as hell, especially the leaders, and like really warped the meta. Yep, you got the Run Luke Run from the original Star Wars card game. One of the strongest cards ever made only came in the one of the first like strongest early events in the early meta only came from a 2-player box set. So like long tradition of 2-player box sets and Star Wars cards, but is this going to make an impact on the meta? I've highlighted some interesting ones that I think are good.
Is there an Ozzel too?
Yeah, there's an Ozzel. He discards a card. He's a 1 defeated discard a card, so he could be good in like Thrawn and stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. I think it's fine. I think if like every time they did it, they were broken AF, and that would kind of suck, right? Like, I have no problem with them. Yeah, we can get the villain beats in with the Hoth Lieutenant. Probably a little expensive, but I think you can still rock them and try them.
Red Tarkin, baby.
Yeah,
But
I found them is like
that
very
guy
interesting.
coupled with the 2-drop one, like you have infinite action economy if you're playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
Snow
this
Trooper
one. I
Lieutenant
thought
and
this one
Hoth
might be
Right
Lieutenant.
here
worth
on aggro.
putting on here because it has no restriction. It's not only
Right.
Imperial. It's not you have to have initiative. It's just any one unit gets to attack for +2. And even though it is expensive and the body is weak by comparison, like that value of having the auto pump is pretty good.
But if you couple it with the other one, you're
Right.
like if you do go Imperials, you just have like infinite whatever that card, Rebel Lieutenants basically. I don't remember. Is
Yeah,
it
well, it's
Imperial
Fleet
Lieutenant?
Lieutenant,
Snow Trooper
yeah.
Lieutenant.
Fleet Lieutenant. Snow Trooper Lieutenant.
So yeah, they've got the theme. It's the Snow Trooper. It's a lieutenant. Like they're keeping it on brand for the
That is
thematic
cool.
part.
It's a lieutenant. That's kind of
Fleet
nifty.
Lieutenant, Snow Trooper Lieutenant, Hoth Lieutenant.
Lieutenant's pump.
I think.
Well, I
that
think this is great because we just said, Maddie just said it. Like we've been playing this format, and they had the early leak, and they dropped the spoilers for Worlds, and like Worlds also had, because it was Worlds, we were playing it like more intently early on too, right? Like there wasn't a time right now where maybe you'd like not play quite as much. We were trying to figure everything out, trying to figure everything out, and then you've got this stretch of now what 2 months, 3 months before the next set. So it's cool that things are a little tweaked, almost like it's sort of like if they had banned Force Throw, as some people thought they might have, it would have like shaken up the meta more than these cards would have. But like provides a very small shakeup where you can like be like, is something gonna impact something else? Could watch this go into a Quinlan deck? Could Han Yellow come back with that card, or whatever? Could we make a Stormtrooper aggro deck? Is there something here? So
Yeah, I mean, I think something like I've found them, like a true dredge card, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, draw a unit, revealed this way, then discard the other revealed cards. This puts 3 to 4 cards in your discard pile. That's enough to power up Aphra alone. To flip as a 5/5, just about.
it's
There's
potentially
also like
enabler.
random. What'd you say, Justin? Sorry, I cut you off there.
I found them as we love Afra, but like another Anakin enabler is probably maybe
Yep.
where I found them might be even more. You know what I mean? Like that seems kind of crazy because
Yeah,
Anakin enabler.
I want Proof Not Lies, also an Anakin enabler. Discard
Right.
card.
Yeah, that one's really good with it because it's like there. I found them also like there are some edge case cards that are like a little too situational. It's like put a force guy back into your deck, pump these people. Like there can be some interaction with your graveyard other than just like, or your discard pile other than Palp's return. And then like, we have oh my god, what's the ship that gets an enchantment back? It's a blue 4-cost ship that gets an upgrade back. Yeah, you have like Razor Crest, so like you can get a little weird. I think some of these cards will be even better with like the new set because there is a reveal mechanic. Right? Isn't Padme like reveal or discard?
Yeah.
So that's I think where we might really see it. But like, if you're playing green red hero, like that turns on Rey. Just interesting stuff. I think that these are great cards that you picked. I think there is power in them. Whether it's going to be like in 2 years in an eternal format where like I found them as absolute goated, who knows? And like everyone's looking for the intro to Battle Hoth set, right?
Yeah.
That would be really sick.
You need some internal Discord prizing though. If you win a PQ with the new bases, you are goated.
20 HP bases.
You have to have some insane achievement if you do that. Like
I think this card is crazy. Return a non-leader unit, cost 6 or less, and exhaust each other enemy unit in the same arena. So it's like, it's a crazy fog card. Like you tap their whole arena, your stuff isn't, and then you also return like a problematic unit. So you super time walk them. Like they have to replay their thing.
That card will probably be in like Vader decks potentially because you can play that, and then it's good against Vader too. So that's
right. Bouncing the tokens. Yeah, I think like that we could come to a time where there's enough of those effects. They're just so expensive.
Well, 6 is
but
a
like
lot,
Magic,
but you're getting Waylay plus outmaneuver, right? So like
you're getting a great effect for 6. I played Turbo Fog in Philly actually at a
that's crazy.
At a SCG. I went X1 and 1, but I came in like 10th. And that was like 9 rounds. And like, the thing about the turbo fog there was your fogs were generally pretty cheap, so you could then like mill them or do something else. In this game, the fogs are like your whole turn.
Right.
That's the only thing is like, because I used to play those kind of like combos or like alternate strategy decks, and to get my edge, I've been always looking for those. Like, can we get a cheaper fog? Like, and then you can mill
this
them
is
on the same
definitely
turn. Definitely
pricey, but I think like the return to hand a big unit and exhaust everything is pretty sick. It's gonna
I think it's more of like a tempo race winner kind of a thing, but it could be good against
7-hour turn to get you to Super Laser Blast or something.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
totally.
If you think about, there's a Sabine winner. I talked about this in the video this week that played out. It was Sabine Green, but it played out maneuver for 5. Because, and I talked about this in the video, it's like if you're getting that effect, it doesn't really matter how much it costs because you're not going to play it on 3. So like that type of card, you're just sort of saying like, all right, once we both it's for those games where you've both dodged each other's lanes. You've got a whole bunch of units, they've got a whole bunch of units, and you play outmaneuver, and all of a sudden you can like win. So this is like kind of
And I
similar.
love this one because you don't have to dodge the lane. Like you can be in that same lane, and you're just like, well, sorry, you're tapped out. Yeah, pretty cool.
I like it.
All right, and then Steve, did you have anything you want to say about those?
No, I think it's cool. I'm pumped to try to combine the lieutenants into an aggro deck.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have some week 5 PQ winners. Still the middle of PQ, the weekend of PQs, but we did get all the Saturday winners, and then one other. There was another PQ in Australia this morning. I was watching while I was setting up the rest of these slides. Hantu Blue beat Clint playing Sabine ECL in the finals. But the big weekend for Quinlan, 3 Quinlan wins. It also beat our teammate Alex in the finals of the New Jersey one. A Han 4 Tarkentown was able to pull out the win against Alex. So took away what could have been another Quinlan win.
2 more wins. Boba and Quinlan continue to be the top 2.
I want to know what these Boba decks are like playing throughout their wins. Like what's the meta look like? What's their path to victory? Like what do you have the meta to be to win with Boba?
Can you see that in Melee?
Yep, you can see what they play.
As long as the deck lists are published, which some of them they're not, but as long as the deck lists are live, we could like click on this guy and see everyone he played against.
When I did my hidden gems video, and I talked about like how to like look up decks and see why they won, whatever, like that's exactly kind of what I did. It was like, all right, let's see, like, not only did this do well, but who did this person beat, and how did those games go? And like, early rounds you got to put a less attention onto because you just don't know the quality. But then the later rounds, and then especially if you know the player that they beat, it becomes more valuable. But like that's always my advice is like, go into the melee if you can, see what they beat, because that's going to give you more intel, and then like couple that with like using swoo base, and you can like get yourself into a starting position to onboard yourself with the deck. You still got to do the work.
And then one wild Australian one was won by a Wedge security complex. That's freaking crazy. There's only 22 people, but that's still pretty wild.
Yeah.
And then we've got, so looking at the data again, and then Swoo Base wasn't fully updated, so it doesn't have everything, but Quinlan still pacing to, it's still the most winning champion of PQs this season with Boba Fett and Han right behind it. And then Palp, Kylo, Sabine after a big three win weekend, and Cad Bane all with 4. So really separating themselves from the pack, Han, Boba, and Quinlan.
But the Palp having 4, like the Palp having just as many as Kylo and Sabine and Cad, like 3 other like pretty, big pieces of the meta. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm loving the Palp deck. I've been playing hundreds. I think I've cracked 100 at least Palp games as I warm up to seeing if I want to play that at one of the upcoming PQs, because we've got a couple New England PQs.
Yeah, I'm excited to play some PQs. Darth Vader only won. That's kind of interesting too.
Darth Vader only won is wild. One of those, the Florida one, I was watching the final stream. It was Boba Dadavault versus Vader, and I would say like Vader is one where like Boba Dadavault just kind of crushes it.
Yeah, you got all the ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then if we look at the top 8, sort of more of the same. Quinlan, Han, Boba, way ahead. Kylo, set 5 Kylo is 4th. That's 32, but 58 top 8s for Quinlan, 53 for Han, 49 for Boba.
But that speaks to like what you kind of a counterpoint to what you were saying about like what's this beating the Boba thing? Because you could say that about Han because Han clearly beats the crap and then maybe doesn't do as well in the top 8s, but like the Boba is somewhat converting and when it gets to the top 8s. Like it's 49 and then you get what is it, 8 wins?
8 wins for Boba, yeah.
Out of 49. So like when it gets there it's doing reasonably well. And presumably the people in top 8, that can be crazy metas in top 8s, but like presumably that's going to be the top decks in the top 8 and Boba's still, winning.
Yeah, and
So
compare that to like Sabine, 26 top 8s, only 4 wins. Vader, 20 top 8s, only 1 win. Talzin, 18 top 8s, only 2 wins. Palp, 16 and 4 wins. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
25% conversion.
That's really good. But that makes sense too, because it's like Palp is kind of maybe getting
like a little
advantage.
Outlier, yeah.
Yeah.
So the march continues. It's August 31st as we record this, September 1st as we drop it, and yeah, we get a whole month till Portland. So a lot of PQ data coming in as we prep for Portland.
For the Discord peeps, I'm gonna have a sort of small update to Sabine that I would run, a little guide coming this week. Just I do think Sabine is well positioned. We've seen some tech with like the MC30 frigate, and then I know Maddie's been working on it. I'm working on it too. It's up top of my list for along with Sabine for the PQs is Boba Data Vault, just trying to learn it and understand it. So that I'm gonna try to get in the threads there for that one, and then Quinlan. So kind of going back to the curated list, like putting that stuff up there and getting more active there. So as PQs in Portland are coming up, and Philly and Munich and all these different things, like I want to be in the weeds with everyone. So I'll be getting more engaged in those threads. So excited to chat with the folks there.
Yeah, I've got some hyper hyena bombers and probe droids, Maul probe droids for you, ready to go. Been pulling all the hypers from there.
These cards. We'll see. Keep going back and forth. Are we handing or not? I don't know.
I like the hand, but I know a lot of people are winning without it.
Talking about data farming though, this is one thing that was really interesting. Was like I was looking for in one of our upper tiers with like more direct stuff. We were looking at getting involved with Boba Data Vault, and I was doing some data mining, and I looked at like PQ winners, and I was like, this list looks good. And then I looked at it, I just clicked another PQ, and I was like, oh, this Boba came in second. I wonder what it looks like. It was the same person in France, and like when you go down that rabbit hole, you really see some interesting stuff. And it's like they changed one card one week, one the next weekend, changed it, like, and then I looked at like they had top 8'd another PQ with the same list. So then you start realizing like, wait a second, maybe this is the fire brand right here, like. And you just trust their homework. So,
well, that's a great point. Pointing to like for those who don't know what happens office hours tier, right? I know this is like the weekly pod, but like we've had just like fire topic submissions where the part of the office hours asks us for personalized content on separate topics, and like we've gone into Quinlan mirrors, obviously very popular. We've gone into like how does Quinlan navigate the blue-red, and like and Yoda in specific someone had problems with, and so like we talk about it. We have gameplay and stuff like that. So it's a really cool. There's been some really cool learnings in there, and like one of the reasons why I've picked up my personal coaching and why I love the office hours tier is like it. I feel like I'm learning more through these people's questions and problems, and I'm self-examining my own game. So like I've been doing a lot more coaching with like within the Discord, and then the office hours tier. Because we started the VIP, our office hours tier actually grew just because of the way people moving up the ladder of the engagement with us. So like it's been in a really good spot, and a lot of good learnings that I think benefited me for this PQ that I just top 8'd. Like I spent hours on Quinlan Mirror, like 2 personalized coaching and then a topic and stuff like that. So it's been helpful to me too, and I think a lot of people having some good
Great point.
success with it.
Yeah, whenever people ask me like, "Oh, should I get into content?" I always say, "Yeah, like you're gonna get so much better at the game because you're being like thoughtful and outward, and it like forces introspection." So
You get to
I
play
always,
this. You playing this guy?
what's that? Oh, you get the hyper, you get the showcase boba. When'd you get
You remember
that?
I traded for this actually. I like dumped a
Bought it
bunch
last week. Don't let them fool you.
Probably.
I saw the charge.
I've never expensed a showcase.
Hey, oh wait, I'll ask you after the pod.
Steve, you still got my Kylo down there?
Somewhere. I don't even
Oh,
think.
well then I
haven't
can.
touched my
I think
cards.
you have my Han too, Justin. By the way,
Yeah,
I
and
gave
I'm
it to you in
not gonna
Vegas.
bully you the way that Steve does. I need to get that back to you because it's yours. I'm not gonna bully you and say, "Oh yeah, it's mine." It's mine now.
Possessions and 9/10.
You know where I live. If you want it, you can come and get it.
I think Steve did bully me and just take my Kylo.
I'm sorry. I got COVID and I had to leave early. I forgot to give it back.
One thing, is this the last one? Yeah, this is, so the only other thing I want to talk about today is that European event I mentioned, people were going crazy yesterday because Beton, the reigning world champ, was playing Dooku Force Blue with the 25 HP base.
What
He
a
only played
legend.
on stream once. I saw him get kind of crushed by Poe Datavault, just sort of get like super aggroed in space. But I did want to check out this. I haven't looked at it yet, but I DM'd Beton. I know it says it's his Patreon account, but I did DM him. He gave this to me. I didn't steal it from his Patreon. So shout out to Beton for being willing to share. And,
He owes us. He owes us.
Oh, that's right. He does.
+1.
He did respond with just the deck list and didn't answer any of the like, "Hey, good job this weekend," blah 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 stuff.
Betten owes us a couple drinks and maybe something else. You know, we show those guys a good time.
Absolutely. So pretty interesting list. So Warrior
He
Drone.
made it to the top
include-
8, by the way.
Did he? I thought he didn't make top 8.
He top 16 and then he won.
Oh, okay.
And then he lost in the top 8.
Playing Virgin's Temple, you need a 4 HP guy to get you the Force, so Warrior Drone accomplishes that task, and then it's great to exploit. You can only exploit Separatists. One of the things that he's doing here is exploiting Darth Sidious, which, when played, kills every unit. Is it ground unit, or it might be ground unit with 3 or HP remaining, 3 or less HP remaining. So you have like a pseudo bombing run there.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's got the 5 barrages and the craving powers. It's got the Chirrut, Tyrannus, Talzin's Assassin. It's like a Force deck, but doesn't need the Force. It just benefits from having the Force in Talzin and Chirrut. Karis.
Good.
Yeah.
That
Shout
dude's
out-
been cooking lately.
Well, that's the thing. Shout out to Betten for being like a great first world champion because it's
Yeah.
like first of all, he's a cool guy. He's got like great energy about the game. I think he loves the game maybe more than anyone. Maybe Steve loves it a little more, but like he's
up there.
playing Porgs. He's
Blue is the
playing
greatest game of all time.
like I think he said something like he's going to play like really unique stuff and just kind of have fun with it but go and like he top aided with Porg Sabine. He top aided with this. Like this is really cool. It leads to what we don't have right now, which is like sort of innovative things, right? And I think this is more on the fun line of things. That is a space where like the game, this meta has been going for a long time. There's ways to practice this game that you get a lot of data from,
Right.
and like when things are quote unquote solved, like things can get stagnant. So it's cool to see these things pop up. And shout out to him for being the world champ, top aiding, and like having some cool cards like in his deck that you wouldn't like. I don't know what that card in the top left does right next to Owen.
It's just a 1/4.
that-
Generic,
just a 1/4.
plain 1/4.
It's a
no
vanilla
text,
1/4 separatist. It's
Just get-
separatist.
So it
Yeah,
turns
that's
on
just-
the Force with the base, and you can exploit it. Yeah.
That's really cool stuff.
Yeah, very cool list. I thought it was worth mentioning. Cool. Well, that takes us to just over an hour, which is the sweet spot. Steve, you get plenty of time to get to the gym. I have plenty of time
Let's
to
go,
nap.
baby.
Cool. Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks. It'll be mid-September, so right before Portland trip. We'll have to figure out what we're doing while I'm in Portland.
We have a PQ that weekend in Connecticut, I believe. So we'll be talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We really
Yeah.
I'm going. You're going, Mike. I think. Steve maybe is going. Maddie,
I'm considering. I have a charity golf, but my
I might
back's
go.
been
I haven't
bothering me.
figured it out
Wink,
yet.
wink. I might just. I already made my donation. I might just go play
thing with
Sue
that-
instead.
Mike literally drove 5 hours back from that location. It's a 2 hour drive in an actual blizzard. So like when there's not a blizzard, it feels like such
Yeah.
lost value to not go. It's like, wait, I
Yeah.
can get down there in an hour and a half. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah.
Yeah, it's a super quick trip for me too. So it's one of my favorite stores. So I'll definitely be there. Cool.
Bet.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week following our CT PQ.
See ya.
We out.